I'm realizing that our society is not built for men and women to be successful in finding each other in order to, date, have fun, get married, if that is what you want to do. Because, like, when they said men are from Mars and women are from Venus, we be on two totally different pages. And I've seen two examples of this. One, I just watched a TikTok where the woman was talking about how she is going to stop dating because essentially what women have been saying, some men are boring. And this dude was in her comments talking about, oh, maybe you haven't found your person yet. And then he says this: the freedom you experience is one of the pros of being single, but there are cons as well. When you're young and have friends and family to support you, being single isn't that bad because they can fill that void. But wait until you get older, when the friends and family start to fade, it becomes a whole different ball game. So this idea I'm about to say is only targeted towards the people who maybe want to get married. Some women are out here living and building lives until they get married, and some men are out here waiting to build their lives until they're married. What I notice with some of my family members and some of the men in general is that they are not living life. They are NPCs in this life. They're not building personalities. They're not building certain things. And I'm not talking about all men, I'm talking about some men. But what I noticed is that even when a man can come from a good family, that idea, whether it doesn't always have to come from the Bible, it can't come from our society, but where you leave your family of origin and then go build your own family. Some people are taking that to the extreme, where that's why on social media people mourn having sons, and they're like, oh, I'm going to be the daddy side of the family, they not going to know me. Because for some reason, like, some men don't stay with their family of origin even when it's a good family of origin, and then they find the woman they want to marry and then go off onto some island and bubble and create their own family in solitude. So when you have a society of women who know how to build community, so when we are getting older, yes, maybe we wanted to have children, we want to get married, but it's not that bad because we still have friends, we still have organizations that we're part of. But the men who just are existing in life, because when I was involved in the Urban League, we were always trying to get more men to be involved. When I was in a lot of volunteer organizations, we were trying to get more men to be involved. When you go to different hobbies, oh, that's not a male like a male hobby, what are we doing? And so you don't have men communing with women. And then you have the concept of sometimes when a man dates a woman, he's taking on her personality and not building a personality of his own. And even putting a battery in his back. Like my last ex, I warned him. I'm like, you need to be doing this stuff off your own volition. I shouldn't be having to tell you to do this stuff. And then we dated for a year, and then everything he accomplished in the last year was because I told him to do it. And now all your accomplishments in the past year are attached to me, and now we broke up. And then the second example I watched Arlett's Pop the Balloon, and the woman from Ghana and the guy from, I think, Cameroon made it to the end, and he decided not to pick her because she just bought a house. And the woman was like, I just bought a house, but I am willing to relocate, because he specifically asked her, are you willing to relocate? And she leaned in, because she was trying to match with that dude, and said, yes, I'm willing to relocate. And he just was like, no, because she's starting a new life. And Arlette was like, she just told you she's willing to relocate. And it's because women build their lives until they find a man. So if we're not going to wait to buy a house, we're not going to wait to do this. Even the idea of like, oh, women think because they making all this money, we have to live by ourselves until we find somebody, if we ever do. So we supposed to live as a pauper until we find a man to fund our lives? Why would we be doing that? And I feel like his mentality was, I need to find a woman who doesn't have anything so I can give her everything. And that's what a lot of men want to do. Even when they don't have money, they want to find a woman that they can give everything to. And so when they see women traveling by themselves, when they see women just living a full life, they can't see how they fit in because they can't give anything to that woman that she doesn't already have. But that's not what a lot of women are looking for in love. There's plenty that you can give her that is not monetary, but a lot of men are only thinking of protecting and providing in this archaic sense, and you need to be providing safe space, protecting my heart. All this protecting, I don't get in fights. Who you gonna beat up? As I'm existing in life, there's never a situation where I'm like, dang, I wish a man had been here. Maybe walking to my car, but I've walked to my car safely a lot of times. It would be nice to have a dude, and maybe I can do more if I didn't have to walk to my car at night or something. But other than that, like, what are you protecting me from? Are you protecting me from bears? Are you protecting me from knights? Like, what are you protecting me from? If I don't have an attitude, I don't get in fights with people, what are you protecting me from? So yeah, I first made this realization when I was going to this healing circle thing weekly, and just hearing people talk about, because you know, when men and women are in the same room, we always going to end up talking about relationships, and what men are looking for is different than what women are communicating and marketing themselves as. And what women are looking for is different from what men are marketing and, you know, showing themselves as. But also, I think where both people are thwarted, like our minds are thwarted in that we're not presenting ourselves as what the other gender is actually attracted to. And then when we think about how the other gender moves, we're thinking in how we move, which is totally different than how the other gender typically moves. So it's just all bad.